Hi guys, I want to show you this image from Norway which I have done an edit on. It's pretty simple. Let's go through it. That's the original and that's what it looks like in the end. So what I've got here is I've actually borrowed a sky from another image. Now if I just click on hold down the shift key and click on the layer mask there, you'll see that that hides the layer mask or disables it, and you can see that was the sky I grabbed from another image. So I put that on there, and obviously I've just rubbed that in. So there's our mask where we rubbed the sky in, and that's sort of blended with the sky underneath, because that is a not a very dramatic sky. That is a much more dramatic sky. So pretty much just rubbed it in, and being grey on grey, it blends quite nicely. So the next thing I've done is I've actually done an apply image to get a bit of grunge going on there. So at this point I will stamp a visible copy on top of those layers there. So to do that I hit Command Option Shift E or Control Alt Shift E if you're on a PC. That gives us a new blank layer and new copied layer of all those, and we go up to Image, Apply Image. We make sure that our channel is changed from RGB to red and our blending is on multiply. Everything else is as it is, and we click OK, and you can see that gives us a really grungy look, straight up nice and contrasty, really deepens the blacks, but it also makes things a little bit too dark in some places. So what I've done, I'll delete that, I've done that there. I've added a layer mask, which is this little icon down here, which is giving us a layer mask. And you can see if I hold down the shift key again, it'll disable that mask, and you can see that I've just rubbed back that foreground just to reveal the lighter area underneath. So if you going to do that, obviously B for brush, use a black brush on a white mask, and that will hide the darkening effect that we created with the apply image. So once I've done that, the next step was to do it again because I wanted a bit more grunge. So quick and easy way, again, Command Option Shift D, which is a stamp visible copy, or Control Alt Shift D. There it is, layer 5, and you basically go up to Image, down to Apply Image again, and red as the channel, blending on multiply, click OK. There we have really, really grungy. And all I need to do then is just brush away this area, adding a layer mask. So here we go, a layer mask, B for brush, black brush on a white layer mask will hide this darkness and it'll bring back the all that lovely detail underneath. So I'm just going to sort of rub through there. Now if you hold down the shift key, click once, and then go to the other side where you want the to draw a straight line, you click again, and if you keep holding the shift key down and clicking from one side to the other, you'll open up, you'll get draw a straight line, and it's a nice easy way of opening all that area up. You can just go in there, put the light where you want it. I'm being a little bit flippant here, but you get the idea. What I've noticed is that the sunlight is coming from this side, so I'm just going to accentuate that by clicking once, holding the shift key down, and just going over to the side of that mountain and drawing a bit of a line. You can see now how that's sort of looking like it's creating a bit of a sort of ray of light, which is kind of there, very kind of, but you can see how that kind of opens it all up, and you can keep adding to that if you want more light to show up. So I'm going to delete that because I've done it this one above, and you can see now if I disable that mask, it is all dark, and you can see how I've rubbed through just to bring that light back onto the side of that mountain. The next step is, because I've done a bit of crazy lightening and darkening of the area, the colours have sort of shifted a little bit. We've got a sort of a slight cyan colour cast going on here, and then it's a bit warmer up here. So what I do is I'll go and do a hue saturation adjustment layer, which is this one here. Click the colorize button, okay, and I'll move this to a warmer color, and I'll bring the saturation down like so. I'm going to then change the blend mode from normal down to hue, and I'm just looking at that saturation, pulling that back. That's almost all the way back, maybe not so much. Change that around, and also then dropping the opacity. So if I look at the opacity here, take it back to 0, I can see that blueness sort of come back, blue off, blue on, and I'm just going to pull it back to a point where I can see that blue disappearing somewhere about there. So there we go, like 36%. Let's see if I've done that in the one above. Maybe not. I've also added a layer mask, and I've just applied that to the bottom area. So let's just go in and show you that. So there it is, on and off. Opacity 29%, 29, 36, it's pretty close. You can see there, disable the mask. I've basically just done a gradient on that. So if you hold down G for gradient, hold down the Shift key, and click and drag, you can change the way this works. You can see how you can have a hard line. It was a bit hard to see in this image, but pretty much I've just done a gradient like that, maybe more like that, just to add the effect just to this area at the bottom, which got a little bit blue. So once I've done that, I've gone and stamped a visible copy, and what that has done is just I've done a mid-tone contrast adjustment on there. So stamp copy here, Command Option Shift E, Control Alt Shift E if you're on a PC. There it is there. And I'll go up to Filter, down to Sharpen, Unsharp Mask, and get an amount of 20, radius of 50, something like that, and click OK. And that will give us, you can see how that really pumps the contrast up and it looks much better. And that's all I've done there. So I'll take that off, put that on, and kept the opacity at 100%. So there you are. That's how you can, in a few easy steps, you can go from 0 to hero. Well, that's if you like that sort of thing. Alright, thanks for tuning in.